Hello, hello, and welcome to A Cup of Meg and Joe with me, your host, Meg and Joe. I got a new mug. Yes, I got a new mug. My other one broke. I don't know if I've ever showed that one yet, but my other one, I had a mug that was like kind of like a gold-ish, like amber color, and it was clear. It was like clear glass, and it broke the other day when I was putting ice in it. I was like I was like throwing ice in it from the top, and I think the gravity, the strength of the ice just like broke the bottom. So I used that as an excuse to get a new mug. I mean, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. It's a reason. Anyway, hello and happy Monday. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod. How you doing? How are you doing today? How you feeling? Let's do a little self-check-in, shall we? I feel like we haven't done that in a while. So, yeah. I will start. I'm feeling tired. I'm very tired today. I'm right around the corner from getting my period any day now. My period, not any day. My period's probably coming in like the next like 5-6 days. So definitely PMSing, definitely feeling it. Especially today. I feel like I'm like getting irritated at so many different things that like usually don't irritate me. And I am definitely on the more tired side today. So that's how I feel kind of like physically. I just feel tired. Like yesterday, I was absolutely energized out of my mind. And, excuse me, I think it was because the sun was shining and it was so beautiful outside. And today, it's kind of cloudy. Today, we've got clouds. There's literally no sun in the sky right now. It's just all clouds. So I feel like that's also enabling the way that I'm feeling. I don't know if enabling is the right word, but yeah, I'm just tired today. Tired. Mentally, I'm doing pretty okay. I think I'm doing pretty well. Yeah. there was a little bit of hesitation. I want to say mentally I'm doing pretty good. I will say that I'm definitely like this morning I definitely felt more stressed out than I usually do.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, are you in the middle of filming?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. Okay. Bye.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm at the Santa Monica Pier.
Look at your smile. Wait, say hi to the pod.
Hi, cup of Meg and Joe viewers, listeners. I'm back.
I'm back for another episode. I'll call you in a bit.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay, I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Sorry, I got a phone call from my baby. I got a phone call from my baby. He's in LA. Liam is in LA right now. Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Liam says hi, everyone. So what am I saying? Oh, I was saying that this morning I definitely was feeling a little bit more stressed than usual. I think last night that started. I just like have a lot of things on my to-do list right now, and I feel like I'm adding something new every day, which is good. I like having things to do. I like being busy. I like checking things off of my list. But with that said, it can just feel overwhelming sometimes. So I feel like that's how I feel right now. But like I'm like overall doing pretty damn good. But like just in this current moment right now, like today, I just felt really stressed this morning because I had so much to get done. And I had like deadlines and blah 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 blah, all the stuff. So, but they're done. They're done. The stuff that I had to do. Well, sorry, not all of them, but one of the things that I had to do is done. And that was like really important to get done by like 11 o'clock this morning. It is now 1:30. I think this is the latest I have ever filmed. I've been up since 7 a.m. But I had to do stuff, like I said. Anyway, I didn't even say what I was drinking. Today I'm on my second cup of Earl Grey tea with a little bit of oat milk in there. And yeah, what are you drinking? What are you drinking these days? Have you changed it up? Or are you still drinking the same old good bev? I watched a video this morning of Mel Robbins talking about how you're supposed to drink a glass of water before you'd intake any caffeine. And I knew that, but like I never saw that video. And she just explained all these things of like, if you don't drink water before you intake your caffeine for the day, then your cortisol levels will rise and like it'll induce that stress and anxiety without like entering water in your body first. So if you haven't had water yet today, here is your daily reminder to get that cup of water. Oh man. Yeah, I definitely feel a difference when I like forget to drink a cup of water versus when I do make sure to have that glass of water. It's so important. I always have a glass of water right by my bed at night so that when I wake up, it's right there. Or in the middle of the night, I also wake up and I start choking because the air gets dry sometimes. I don't know. It's really weird. But so I always make sure I have a glass of water right by my bed. Anyway, I feel like I also just sound really like bleh. Like I feel so like bleh today. Like I'm doing well, okay? But like today I just feel bleh. It's just that kind of day. It's cloudy outside and sometimes it's okay to feel bleh. Emotionally, I think I'm everywhere right now. I've been crying to episodes of Vampire Diaries like every night for the past few days. Just been crying. They're throwing me for an emotional roller coaster for anybody out there who watches Vampire Diaries. You understand the Damon and Elena lore, and it's so intense. It's so intense. And like, I'm so invested. That is my show. It's my go-to show. It just makes me feel all the things I want to feel. And it's perfect for when I'm just like watching, for when I'm just like eating dinner and looking to enjoy good things. So yeah, I love Vampire Diaries, and I'm on season 5 right now. Episode 18, I think. Yeah, so emotionally I'm everywhere. Not just because of Vampire Diaries. I think it's because of my PMS. I'm PMSing all over the place, you know? I feel like yesterday was such a different day. Like I felt so on top of the world yesterday, and today I feel so mellow and just so like I want to lay in bed all day, but I also can't because I have so much stuff to do. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I just feel I feel okay. You know? I feel okay today. How are you? Have you done a little self-check-in lately? How do you check in with yourself? Do you journal? Do you write things down? Do you sit with yourself and maybe like reflect? Or yeah, I feel like everybody has a different way of like checking in with themselves. But I think like, I think we can do that when we just like take the time to be with ourselves. And because I feel like when we're so busy running around all the time, we kind of don't get to feel everything that we've been feeling for a while. And once we sit down, we're like, oh shit, so that's how I feel right now. So yeah, feel anything that comes up once you're sitting still. And that's when it will come up, when you're like kind of still, or when you finally have a moment to just like to breathe. I feel like I'm finally feeling like so tired and drained today because I've been so busy the past few days, and I've been out and I've been just like very occupied. So I haven't had a moment to like sit with myself and like assess anything that I'm feeling. So right now, those are the feelings that I'm assessing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing. That's a thing today. And yeah. Moving on to the topics I want to discuss today, I just want to tell you about the past few days, honestly. Let's just catch up. Let's just catch up on all the things. So firstly, I think one of the main things I want to share with you is my sound healing experience this past weekend. And it was my second time there, and at the yoga studio that I go to. And they do a full moon sound healing session when the full moon is occurring. And oh my god, it was absolutely insane. Like I've been looking forward to that for a while because of the one that I had last month in February. And I think I believe I shared that experience on here. But for anyone who maybe didn't listen to that episode, oh my god, a sound healing bath basically entails just kind of laying there on your yoga mat and experiencing the bath of sound bowls around you. And bath meaning you're kind of just like your senses and everything are being hit with sound bowls, and all these sound bowls are playing so many different notes around you, and it's a really wonderful and cool and strange experience. Like it's so many different things in one. And this second time around that I went, oh my god, like I felt like I like freaking astral projected outside of my body. Like that's how insane it was. I feel like I'm going to sound kind of crazy. I feel like I'm going to sound like I was on shrooms or something, but I literally just felt kind of like high off of that zen that I was feeling, and I will explain. So we were laying there and we practiced yoga nidra, which was incredible. And I really enjoy that kind of yoga because it's so like relaxing, and the meditation behind it just really like, I mean, for me, it really connected me to my body, like fully. Like I felt this insane mind body connection that like it was so strong. Like I felt like I was like on another freaking universe. Oh my god, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, the mind body connection was like absolutely insane. And then after about like 15-30 minutes of yoga nidra and meditating and finding that sweet spot, we did a really nice body scan, really connecting to the left side of your body, the right side of your body, like all the parts of your left side, all the parts of your right side, and then all the parts in the middle, and then all of that combined, and kind of like feeling this like balance between the two. And the full moon that just happened is called a worm full moon. And they basically explained it as like this specific full moon symbolizes a worm rising up from the ground, and that kind of symbolizes us as humans and rising up to our potential. Like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy. We're all little worms. We're all little worms just rising up to our potential. And like this is the start of the astrological new year, so it's a good time to set intentions, and like maybe your intentions for the year kind of fell off, like now that we're in like the third, fourth month of the year. Well, basically we're actually fourth month. We're in the fourth month of the year now that it's April, but we're in like the third, fourth month of the year. And we're right smack in the middle of like the third and fourth month of the year. And sometimes intentions fall through during that time. So now is a good time to restart those intentions, or maybe create new ones, or just like kind of, just figure out what you want to do and where you want to go and all that kind of fun stuff. And then we also picked out an intention card from the deck on the ground before we started our session. And mine said communication is key. And I thought that was really interesting. There was like I read like the passage about it in the book that my instructor had. And it basically talked about how communicating with your loved ones is key. And if there are like any relationships that need some strengthening right now, or any kind of conflicts that need some resolving, communication is key. And maybe that's with a loved one or whoever. And like it really resonated with me, because I did feel that. I felt connected to that message. So it was crazy that that's the one I pulled. And then the sound bowls. Oh my God. Like the best way the only way I can describe to you is that my head, as the sound bowls were playing, or as Martha, as my instructor was playing the sound bowls, there was like some kind of gravitational pull that was happening to my head. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but like it was like an involuntary movement where my head was just going from left to right, and like slowly, and it would depend on the notes that were playing, what kind of frequencies were happening. And I literally at one point, like, I was like, whoa, wait, I'm not doing this. Like, how is my head moving right now? And it was so strange, but it was so cool. And like I find out later that it's because of the vibrations that are happening from the sound bowls, and those frequencies are hitting that certain part of your brain in the back that are making your head turn left and right. And like, this is gonna sound funny, but in some kind of way, I felt possessed. Not in a bad way, but I mean that because like I wasn't doing those movements on my own. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna move my head to the left. Like it literally just started happening, and I was like, whoa. And my head was turning the entire time. And at one point, it would like stay to the right for like longer, like a few more seconds, and then the note would change, and my head would just go to the left. And it was so insane, but so cool, so strange, so weird, so wild that that's how sound bowls can affect you. And so afterwards, after all the sound bowls, after all the sounds, there were also some really pretty ocean sounds happening. I forget what that instrument is called, but we also use one of those in school at one of my classes, but I forget what it's called, but it basically kind of mimics the sound of an ocean, and it was just so relaxing. I felt like I think the reason why they call it a bath is because the sound is literally like it's like drowning your body in the sound. That's really what it is. And like, oh my God. And I was also right in front, so the sound bowls were right there. And it was insane. And I literally felt like I was astral projecting outside of my body. And then at one point towards the end, I felt chills, just a cold kind of air over my body, and chills kind of just, I was like, whoa. And it was so like magical, honestly. And afterwards, my instructor says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm buzzing. And we all started laughing, and like we all looked really freaking high. Like we were all just like, yeah. And it's because we were like high off of that zen. I think we were all buzzing and like just buzzing off of that energy that we were feeling. And like, that's how freaking powerful sound bowls are. That's how freaking powerful the moon is. Like, the moon has so much power and energy that comes from it. That's why it's a good time to like start new things when the full moon is happening. And then just everything. And then if you also get your period during the full moon, you're considered a red witch, which makes you so powerful. And there's so many things that go into that. I don't know everything about that yet, so I'm not going to elaborate, but just know that's a thing. The moon is so powerful. That's why women's cycles are connected to the moon, because there's a full moon, a new moon. The women's menstrual cycle mimics the moon cycle. So that just makes us connected to the moon. Like, isn't that insane? And did you know that men's cycles, hormonal cycles, connect to the sun, and how the sun has a cycle of 24 hours. So like, men's hormonal stages or cycle happens in just one day. But we as women, it takes us a whole 28 days, sometimes 36, 30, 32, 37 even. Isn't that crazy? Like, nature and the world and our bodies are so connected. We are so connected to the earth. And I don't know. I feel like because I've been practicing yoga consistently every day for the past 3 and change months, I feel so grounded to the earth, and I feel so connected to everything around me, and it's a really cool feeling. I'm high off of life, like literally. I'm truly high off of life, and I think it's such a fun feeling to be high off of life, buzzing straight off of life, truly. ah. I think another thing that was really special about the sound healing experience is that I brought my friend Javelin with me. I feel like I talk about Javelin a lot on the pod. That's because Javelin and I have been spending so much time together recently, and it's been one of my favorite things to do is just spend time with Javelin. And Jav came with me to the sound healing. So we experienced that together. We were laying down next to each other. And I think that's what also made it really special to experience that together, to experience that with everyone, to experience like those things, like even like it, like my Sunday yin, to experience a class with people, like doing something like that, where you're connecting to yourself. I feel like you're in such a vulnerable state being around everybody. Everyone is hearing you breathe. Everyone is hearing you inhale and exhale or sigh. And we're just all doing it together and kind of there all to support each other. And I don't know, it's one of my favorite parts about it. I can't believe I never like went to yoga classes like this before. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. And like, now I'm having the time of my life doing this. And I was thinking about this the other day, how like yoga, well, especially like yin on Sundays I feel like it's like some people have church on Sundays, right? Yin yoga on Sundays is my church. And that's like something, it's a ritual for me to do on Sundays. It's part of my routine. Like, I cannot miss a Sunday. Because that's what makes me happy, and that's what makes me feel better, and it's the perfect Sunday reset. And speaking of yin, this past Sunday, I took my mom to my yin class with me, and we had such a relaxing time and such a fun time just doing that together. It was truly a bonding experience. I'm really happy that I got to bring 2 special people in my life to a special place in my life right now, which is the yoga studio. It's crazy how your worlds can combine in ways like that. And yeah, I really love it. And it made me really happy that my mom was able to be there, and my mom was able to meet all the lovely instructors there, and the Filipino women that I talk to her about all the time. And they were like, MJ, oh my gosh, and MJ's mom. And it was so sweet. And like, like watching the interactions between them was just so cute and so wholesome. And I was loving every minute of it. And the fact that now my mom's like, I mean, my mom knows that that's my routine on Sundays. So I'm happy that she was now able to see where I go, what I do, and how I spend my Sundays, like what that class kind of looks like and what it entails. And I'm so happy to say that my mom left there. Well, she left that class being like, well, I want to come here again. My mom left that class and she was like, well, I actually want to come here again. Where do I sign up? What do I do? But my mom can't go there like every Sunday because they don't live here. But my mom definitely wants to make it a point to come to a class maybe once a month. She also really wants to come to the sound healing class, which is really exciting. I'm so happy that like my mom is also showing interest in this stuff. It's just like really cool. The last yoga class the last yoga class I went to before I started going to all of these yoga classes was like literally back in 2018 with my mom. I actually just got a Google Photos memory about it earlier this morning, so that was crazy. And my mom brought it up the other day, but I think yoga is also really good for her because she needs some like gentle poses and stretching for her age. And she's also like a busy woman and constantly having things to do, constantly has things on her mind. So I think it was really good for her to just like practice being still. She said it was really hard initially to just like lay there and be with her thoughts because so much was happening in her mind, but she knew that like this was going to be good for her and that she had to. And eventually she found her footing during the class. And yeah, it was just a really cool experience for her. And I feel like I couldn't fully concentrate during the entire thing because I kept looking over at her to make sure she was okay. She was dandy. She was fine. But like I was just like, my mom has a lot of like pains around her body, so like I was just making sure that like she was okay. And the instructor also was going around the room and making sure that people were okay and supporting them in any ways that they needed. So yeah, overall, wonderful weekend, and like so much fun spending a double time at the yoga studio this weekend. I love when that happens. And I'm really happy that I got to bring two special people in my life, two special women in my life to the yoga studio. And then after my mom and I went to Yin, we met up with my brother and my dad because they were already walking around in the area, and we had lunch at a really yummy Thai restaurant. So good. So good. And we just had some like core family time. I think this weekend was really about core family time because that was on Sunday, and on Saturday after work, I went to my parents' house to stay there overnight. And I haven't gone there without Liam in a while. I want to say since like Christmas. So it was just me this time, and it was just really nice to get in that core family time, you know, like it's something that we haven't done in a while, so something that I very much appreciated, and it was just really sweet and wholesome. And we spent time with the doggies, we spent time watching a movie. My family and I really love, like, TV is our love language. Watching movies together, watching shows together, watching Marvel movies together is something that we've been doing like for forever. And I mean, when I was younger, my family and I would go to the movies probably like every Saturday or Sunday. That's how we would spend our weekends. And then when I was even younger than that, like when I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, we would go to this place called Hollywood, which is not open anymore, but it was like a DVD store. And we would rent a movie or 2 or 5 and have them for the weekend and just like have movies to watch. So movies and just like watching TV has always been like a huge love language for me and my family. And that's what we did this weekend. We watched Spider-Man Homecoming. I mean, I fell asleep after the first 5 minutes. I've seen that movie plenty of times and I love it so much, but like I got so comfortable on the couch, and my family always laughs at me and says like, oh, come on, you always fall asleep. But like, and we laugh about it. But to me, it's like, it's like a form of endearment because that just means that I'm comfy. And my mom was also like giving me a nice like head massage while I was laying down next to her. And I was just really tired from the day. Like we had such a long day, but yeah, just family family was like a true theme this weekend, and it was really great and lovely. And my family even came back to my apartment afterwards, and we continued watching Spider-Man Homecoming because they only got through halfway through. They only got halfway through the movie on Saturday night. So we continued watching it on Sunday when they were here at my apartment, and I was doing my mom's nails while we were doing that. So it was so nice and cute, and like I don't know, just like I really love when I get to spend time with my family like that, because like we're always so busy, especially now that like we're older and all that kind of stuff. Everybody has different schedules, and like I don't live there anymore. So like I live about like maybe like 30-ish, maybe 25 to 30 minutes away from my parents now, but like, which is not really that far, but like I said, it's not easy access anymore. So like when I get to have that family time, it's chef's kiss. I love it so much, and I feel like I fall in love with my family all over again when we get to spend time like that, and it's really wonderful. Yeah, that was really nice. But what else? So as you may have heard in the beginning of this episode, Liam called me because he is on a work trip again, and he is in LA, and he wanted to FaceTime me while he was at the Santa Monica Pier. But so I've been alone for the past few days, just getting some alone time, doing the things. And Liam's coming home tomorrow morning, which I'm really excited about. But I like that we're able to spend time alone like this. I mean, I know it's like he has to go for a work trip and stuff like that. And I just like that we are able to do this, and we're able to like spend time away from each other and then be able to just like come back to each other and miss each other. And I think that space is so important, and that also that individuality is so important. I mean, we touched on this last episode when Liam and I were talking about everything. I hope some of that resonated with you, like in one way or another, even if you're not in a relationship. I think just like some things that we talked about are really important. I've learned a lot within being in a relationship, with Liam especially. And I've learned many things from my past relationships too, but like nothing hit quite like being with Liam. And I feel like it's like it's literally the best relationship that I've ever had, and the most healthy and the most loving and the most stable and the most nurturing. And I love that man so much. But anyway, I didn't mean to go on a whole rant about that. But I just wanted to say that I'm alone again, and getting some quality me time in again. And I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really proud of Liam, because there was a time where like we couldn't do this. There was a time where like Liam's been wanting to do that solo trip for so long, but like he just wasn't able to. And now he was freaking able to, and he went, and he's gone, and he's having so much fun making music with people out there in LA and like doing the damn thing. And I'm over here also doing the damn thing, going to class, going to work, doing my thing, making my videos, all the stuff. And I just feel like we're in a really good place right now, with each other, and also like within ourselves. And it's just like really cool to see and experience. And I just like love this life that we're living, and I love that we get to do it together. And I'm genuinely happy with so many things that are happening in life right now, in my life right now. Like I didn't think I would get to this place of like feeling like, wow, like, is this real life? Like last year, and I dare I say even the year before that, like life felt so messy, and it felt like everything was like falling apart all the time, and I couldn't quite like grasp anything. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I'm just really grateful for this life, and I'm so happy that this is now. I'm really happy with where I landed, and I'm just really enjoying everything about life right now, and everything in between, all the little things, all the little details, and the time and the energy and all that stuff, everything. Like I don't know. I just feel really, really, really grateful right now. There's so much gratitude that I have in my heart for everyone in my life, everything that I have in my life. And yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to get all emotional, but I guess that's where we're at emotionally, huh? I'm getting my period, okay? I'm getting my period, okay? Forgive me. I feel really in tune with myself and my emotions, and it took a fucking time. It took a fucking road. Like, it took a emotional roller coaster that went absolutely haywire to get here. So I just like, I'm constantly in surprise. I'm constantly in awe and constantly like shocked that this is all happening, and that like I get to do the things that I'm doing right now. And it's just really cool. It's really cool, to say the least. Like, I'm grateful for everyone in my life. Yeah. Ah. Anyway, on that note, I think I think that closes off today's pod. I just kind of wanted to touch on a few things. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. But nothing too crazy for today. Damn, there's really no sun out right now. It's crazy. Like, this window right next to me on my left, like, all I see is just white because it's just all the clouds. Mainly gray. Crazy. It's so glum. It's so glum. Yeah, so on that note, I think I'm going to close the pod here. So thank you for coming to my Meg talk. Thank you for tuning in to A Cup of Meg and Joe. Let me know what you like to discuss next. I'm open to literally anything. I'm very open to discussion. I'm pretty much an open book, I'd say. And if you have like, you know, any burning questions you're just like dying to ask, you know what I mean? Let me know if you have any drink suggestions that you'd like me to try. Not coffee. I did take a tiny little sip of coffee like last week because one of my friends made her own like beans. So I had to try it, but it was like a tiny little sip and it was really good. But other than that, I haven't had coffee in a while. Anyway, we're getting off track. I hope you have a lovely Monday and a restful week, and check in with yourself. Get some time to just sit and check in with yourself. Just get some, you know, me time, and just like check in with yourself. It's important. It's so important that we need to like, we're the only ones who can assess anything in our body. So it's important to be connected to that. All right. So I will talk to you next Monday.